It's been a really long time since I've played any sort of truck simulator here on the channel, a couple of years at the very least. So when I saw a game pop up on social media called Star Trucker, you absolutely know that I was going to be all over that. And so that's what we're doing today. I want to jump into Star Trucker. How's it going, by the way? Hope you're having a good one. I want to jump into Star Trucker. I want to experience what this game has to offer, and I want to share one very important thing about this game. If there is anything that you take away from this video, it is that this game's soundtrack is actually really good. Now, I'll let you know another little secret. I can't actually hear it right now because the soundtrack you're listening to that, it's playing while I'm doing the talking is I'm putting it there in editing so that it kind of continues through all the cuts. Just all right. I'm telling you how the sausage is made. You don't need to know how the sausage is made. We're playing Star Trucker. It's basically Truck Simulator in space. We're also going to be playing with custom settings, and I'm doing this for a very specific reason, and I recommend you do this as well if you do happen to play Star Trucker. Now, we are going to keep the tutorial going, and we are going to keep Truck Warranty on because that's going to help us learn about this game. It's going to help us go through the tutorial and explain how it works. What I'm going to do, and this is the important part, power consumption rate low, consumable usage rate low, oxygen usage low, thruster efficiency being normal is fine, and suit efficiency being good is what we want. The reason I'm doing this is because you gotta manage your power systems. You gotta manage your consumables like your batteries. You have to manage your oxygen supply, which means changing air filters. This is all stuff that the game will teach us as we go in, but it is a little quick. It is tuned to be a bit of a pain when you're playing in the normal settings. Everything else can stay normal. Everything else in here, which you can totally customize to meet, your own standards. Everything else is fine. I just need those turned down low.
This is 1044, the big rig that just broke down in Onyx. Looks like you're leaking a whole lot of lung juice there, buddy. Might want to take a walk and patch those holes.
So that's me. That's me that he's talking about. And leaking lung juice means that we have hull breaches and we're leaking oxygen. So I need to get out of my seat, which is a thing you can do in this particular truck simulator. And this is my ship, which you have to admit is kind of a vibe. There's a lot of stuff down here. All this stuff is cargo or consumables. We have a jerry can, which does have fuel in it. We have some power cells, which we can absolutely use. We'll get to all of that. For now, we need to go up here, put on a spacesuit. We're going into the airlock, closing the airlock, and we're going outside. First thing you do in this truck simulator is go outside of your truck, which is apparently a thing. It makes sense. We have to patch some holes in the HUD. So very quickly, we're going to get this one lined up, and we're going to patch it, and we're going to patch the second one as well. So now I get to go back in my truck, which looks like this, by the way. I did mention that the spaceship is a truck. It very much is, and it looks great. You can customize it, by the way. There's quite a few different liveries you can put on it, and you can change all the paint schemes in the liveries. That's like a way later down the line kind of thing, though, and we'll probably not cover that today in this video. But if you do happen to enjoy this video as it goes on, let me know in the comments, leave a like in the video. Just let me know you'd want to see more of this if that's the thing that you want to do. This video, honestly, for the most part, is just about introducing you to this game. I wasn't really thinking I was going to do any YouTube stuff with it, but I thought we could have some fun. So I guess we'll take a seat, we'll get strapped in and spun around, and we should be good to go.
Good. Now, before you get back on the road, it might be wise to check your CB radio.
All right, so we can interact with fellow truckers by using the CB radio. If I see this symbol, pick up the microphone, hold the right trigger to view a list of responses, then either X, Y, or A to select a reply. We can put the mic back once I'm done, and then we'll get control of the truck again. By the way, I am playing this on PC. I think it's available on Xbox as well through Game Pass. Not sponsored, but I think if you have Game Pass, you can get this. And it's a driving game, so I figured a controller kind of made sense.
Grab your headset and give me a holler. I'll let you know if you're coming through.
Yeah, there's going to be a 1097 signal check. You reading me?
That's a 10-2, partner. Loud and clear. With that done, I guess you should be on your way.
All right, so we can press the right trigger to accelerate using the main thrusters. We can brake and reverse with the left trigger. Left stick will fire the maneuvering thrusters and turn the truck. Left bumper, right bumper will roll left and right. And then I can switch to an external view with up on the D-pad. So if I wanted to, I could drive like this. But I'm not thinking that I'm going to drive like this because it's not really a great view. And most of the controls, most of the things you can see on the dashboard here, I can interact with quite a few of them. So for example, we're moving, what is that? Recycled textiles? Yeah. So the trailer's at 100%, recycled textiles, 100%, total haul weight, 57,500 kilograms. That's great to know, but I want to have a look through some of my screens. So my truck hull is at 100%. That's not going to last very long. This is my system diagnostics. Everything is fine. This is what I want. So this is my left mirror looking back so I can actually see if anything's coming up on me. This right here is my power cell status. So you can see the gravity drive in the middle is at 38%. That is what we turned down in the custom settings for this save. Basically, the power cell consumption is lower, which, trust me, you're going to want it to be lower. What we're going to do for now, though, is have a little look through here. We've got life support. We have 100% oxygen in here. Our delta rate is 0 because we're at 100%. Our output rate is 23 liters of oxygen per hour. Usage is 23 per hour. So we're at pretty much a 0. This on the left and this over here, these are my air filters. So they are at 100% efficiency, which, by the way, just while we're here, I can show you where those are. They are right up this way. We can't access them right now, but that in there that you can see is an air filter. There's one on this side, one on that side. It's R2 and L2. And then we've got R1 and L1 over there. Those two don't have any air filters, but we can purchase some or find some and put them in there. But again, we'll start dealing with all that a little bit later on. For now, let's just switch to a rear view camera and let's just start going. We're going down to a jump gate here. We're gonna get moving, which is very cool. I'm really enjoying this game. Like, it looks really cool. It's a very, very pretty looking game. So this thing is a jump gate. I'm pretty sure that there's some kind of tutorial about it. Yeah, it lines me up automatically. So that's not a thing the game does all the time. That's not something it's going to do consistently. It just does it for now. Jump gates allow you to move between locations within the galaxy. With your truck correctly aligned, the gate will power up, and once all the lights are green, you can use the lever above your head to make a jump. So, we got these lights on the side here, and then we can hit this up here. We can also see that we are close enough, we are aligned, and we are at velocity 0, so we are good to punch it and jump to another part of the galaxy. Also, this is very pretty. Like, it's really good looking. It's really, really cool. I'm such a big fan of it.
Calling in from the DIV. Glad to see you finally made it. We've already got a drop zone warmed up and waiting for you.
Okay.
So just head
I can deal with that. So we've got a delivery waypoint down here. We're gonna get paid if we drop everything off. The only concern I have with doing this is the very first time that I delivered cargo in this game, I crashed into another truck, which is wild when you consider, you know, the sheer scale of space. The chances of crashing into another truck you would think would be slim, but no, they are not. So we have to drive my cargo to its designated drop zone to complete a haulage contract. The drop zone will change color to indicate that the trailer is within the safe area. So in this case, we can see the purple drop zone just over there. I've got to line my truck up and get in there without hitting anything, which again, given the size of space, you wouldn't think would be too much of a problem. But I did mention those extra axis of motion, the extra dimensions of movement we have to contend with. You can drift, you kind of go up and down, you can tilt, you can roll. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. I'm gonna hit the roof of this thing if I'm not careful. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. We're just gonna back it up a little bit and angle the nose down before I crash into something. So we'll just bring the nose of the truck down and see if we can get into loading bay NL1 without crashing into anything. I want to see how long I can go here without just ruining my truck. So far, so good. We can slow down a little bit. We've changed over to have green here, which is great. So we can turn off the truck's magnetic lock system to unhitch from trailers. This can be done by using the mag lock lever inside of the cab. Make sure the entire trailer comes to a stop within the highlighted green zone or you won't get paid. So what we can do is bring the truck to a stop right there. We are moving again. Let's just bring her to a stop right about there, which we have done. We aren't moving at all. By the way, there is an air brake system. We don't have access to it yet, but it does exist. And if we unhitch, we get paid, which is great. We don't get much, admittedly. This is just the first contract to teach us how to play the game, but 900 XP is not bad. $753 is not bad. $3 extra for being early, which is lovely. Not quite enough to get level 2, but I'm okay with that. That's, again, it's a bit of a start. So we'll confirm it and we'll go from here.
Payment should already be with you. But if you feel like spending some of that hard-earned cash, just head on over to Palmview Station.
So the interesting thing about going to stations and being in the different systems, and I hate talking over dialogue in games, but I'm just gonna in this instance. By the way, there is an actual user manual for the truck. It is 100% a thing. I've now got dashboard controls unlocked. So just to be clear, it's down there in a glove compartment, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about. What I want to sort of talk about is this little highway thing that's right here. I never use these, and this is one of the very few times that I'm going to use these because I just crash into the sides all the time. And despite the fact that it is reasonably wide, I'm always really paranoid that I'm going to crash into oncoming traffic or that there's going to be other traffic on my side of the road that I'm going to run into. It's happened a few times. Like, look at this guy. He's got a triple trailer coming right for me, and he's pretty far away, but I'm not convinced that I'm not going to hit him. I mean, I'm not, but I don't trust myself. Look at you. Look at both of you. Amazing. All right, so we need to go over to, oh my God, I'm getting out of the highway. We're going down. It's space, man. I don't need to stick to highways. We don't. Where we're going, we don't need roads. And apparently we don't need, oh God, hold on. Spin it around. Let's slow down a little bit before I lose control of this thing. We are totally fine. And we're gonna just sort of chill here for a second because we did just get dashboard controls, which is actually kind of exciting. So up this way, we have the ability to turn off different thrusters. We've got system alerts. We are still moving. We've got the rear thrusters, the left thruster. We have a horn, which is, by the way, really loud. Yeah, really, really loud. Got the CB radio up here. We've got a radio, which again, I'm not going to be using because I'll just put the music in editing. Obviously, we have these screens that I've been using, but I've got all these buttons down here. So I have a heater and I've got the blower on medium right now, which is giving us a nice 20 degrees Celsius interior temperature. It is 14 Celsius outside. You can change it. If I do hot, you'll notice the temperature inside will start going up. And if I go for cold, it'll start going down. I'm gonna keep it on a nice moderate right there because that seems like a fair shout. I can also turn off all of the lights inside of my cab, which is something that I'm actually gonna do for the rear lights behind me since we're not going back there right now. And the reason I'm doing that, and I'm not kidding, is because we have 2 core power cells that power the majority of the systems in the truck. I'm pretty sure having the lights off means we're consuming less power. I don't know if the game actually accounts for that, but I'm going to assume that it does, and I'm going to presume that it does. We also have drive assist, which I'm keeping on because basically turning it off is going to disable the stabilization system. This will save on fuel, but requires manual momentum correction to safely navigate a sector. Yes, so that's staying on. We also have roof lights, we have auxiliary lights, we have headlights, which you can see are off and back on. There is cruise control, which is very exciting, but again, we're not moving right now, so I don't need to worry about it. For now, all I want to do is get to Palmview Station and see if I can get myself a new contract. And to do that, we're going to have to learn a little something about docking, which might, if the YouTube AI scrubbers happen to go over this video, get me demonetized, but we can use the docking camera to align the truck with the docking bay. We can maneuver close enough and the maglock system will become available. And when you're in a position to pull the maglock lever, you can lock with the target. So long story short, we have docking bay 3 right here, and that's where we need to go. What I like to do is get close to the docking bay and it'll open up for me, which is great. We can come around a little bit. We're going to get as close as we can safely get, which I think is about here. And we'll just slow the truck down. We are going to sort of level out a little bit, point the nose right at the center of the docking bay. And down here, this thing's already switched over to a docking camera, which is great. So what I can do is just swing the truck around horizontally, and eventually we'll see that we are more or less lined up with the docking bay. Now we'll bring this down a little bit. We'll come around to the right a little bit, bring it back up a little bit, and we can see all of our stats, and gradually we can start reversing. And we should, assuming I don't crash into it, which I'm really trying not to do, soon enough we can hitch. And there we go. We have connected with docking bay 3. Which is fantastic news. And this is where I can get some contracts. So job boards will provide a list of contracts available in the local area. As you earn certification skills, the list will expand, giving you access to new job types and cargo to haul. Keep in mind that the bonuses and deductions will differ between job types, and harsh penalties will be issued for abandoning hauls or canceling jobs. So very similar to Euro Truck Simulator or American Truck Simulator, you have specialities. You can do fragile cargo, large cargo, rare cargo, or valuables, or whatever it might be. And it is a price. It is a payout based sort of on distance and cargo type and speciality. So we can look here and see that we need to take whatever this is. It's a tanker loaded with argon. It is 40,000 kilograms. We will get $2,214 if we take this from our current location here in Atlas Prime to a place called Edgeburgh, which is a Q-Star facility. We are currently working for Galactic. We could go to Edgeburgh here. We could go to Onyx right here. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been to Edgeburgh a few times. I don't love it, but this is going to be our best payout. Now, what we could do is look at some distances, and we could see that this one is a reasonable enough distance. I think what we're going to just do, actually, these will be the real ones that we're looking for. So this is the shortest distance overall that we'd be looking at. It's 4.9 light years. It's one jump from here in Atlas Prime to a place called Purity, $1,200. I think we'll stick with this Argon, rush over to Edgeburgh. So we will accept this contract. We do actually get a contract. You can read through this if you want. Feel free to pause the video. The only thing I really care about is the fact that if I screw this up, I will be fined $4,428. There are obligations of the driver, obligations of the company, confidentiality, indemnification, and governing law and jurisdiction. I'm going to accept the contract without reading it because I was born in 1993 and that is just what we do. And now my cargo is all the way over there. Now, let's talk a little bit about hitching to trailers. We already have the docking camera enabled, so we don't need to worry about that. Once we're within range and aligned correctly, we can use the maglock lever to hitch to the trailer, much in the same way that we connected to the docking bay. So we'll swing things around here. We'll rotate a little bit and probably want to bring that nose down. So we'll do exactly that. We'll bring the nose up a little bit actually and come back over to the right. In fact, I need to stop moving to get this to go right. So we want to swing this thing around a little bit that way. We'll bring it over a little bit further down this way, and that should be us lined up really nicely. So if we back things up and have a look at you, we should be able to connect to this thing. Even though we're not going in at a perfect angle, it shouldn't be the end of the world. We just want to get nice and close. And any second now, it's going to let me connect to the trailer, which I can now do. Okay. So we can open the galactic map at any time. From here, I can plan delivery routes and view information about locations. So we are going from right here in Atlas Prime. This is my current location. We are going to be taking Route 15 to Medusa 6 and then Route 25 up to Edgeburgh. Interesting detail. There are express routes that we can take, and we absolutely will take some of those at some point. The problem with the express routes, such as Express Route 25 and Express Route 40, which goes over to Three Kings, is there is a toll. So we might want to be aware of that. We might want to stay on top of that. And so, for example, let's say we wanted to go from Medusa 6 down to Emerald Junction. We could take Express Route 25, or we could go from Medusa 6 to Atlas Prime down to Purity and over to Emerald Junction. So that's something we're going to want to keep in mind when it comes to maximizing profits. There are other territories we can kind of see around here that we don't have access to yet. We will get access to those eventually. So eventually we could go from Medusa 6 directly to Tank Town through whatever system that is. But to get there right now, it would be either Express Route 25 to Emerald Junction or the long way around, Route 30, and then Route 45 to Tank Town. So there is a degree of route planning to this, which I think is really neat. But for now, we're just going to be going towards Medusa 6 and then towards Edgeburgh, which is totally fine. So that's the map. Route planning is kind of a thing. We've got another jump gate just up that way that we need to get to. So let's floor it and head straight towards it. I'm really not interested in following the highway. We will be a little bit slower on the acceleration now that we are pulling something, but honestly, that's all right. So you remember right at the start, the way the game lined me up automatically with a jump gate? That's not going to happen this time. I have to line up with this myself, which is, yeah, it's a thing. I mean, you saw how I lined up with the trailer and the docking bay, so let's see if I can. Oh, what have I hit? What have I just crashed into? No, use the brake. Use the emergency brake. Are we good? What did we hit? Or what hit me? I was I was waiting on this happening. So, oh, I think it would have been whatever that is flying away over there. I think that's what I might have hit. Or that's what hit me. Or that fell off my ship. I don't know which. I don't know if I want to know which it was. But here's the benefit to following the marked roads. The marked roads don't have debris on them. The direct routes do have debris on them. I also hear another truck. Oh, this guy. What are you doing? Okay. All right. Okay. So I crash into something crashes into me, and this guy's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go around. Okay. So we have to stop the truck at a suitable distance and the jump gate will power up. If I'm having trouble, make sure that I'm facing the gate and use the stop sign to align myself. Remember, gates between zones and some sectors will stay inactive until I get clearance from the DIV. So that's the sectors that I can't go through right now. For example, I basically need to get clearance to go to those sectors. Now this guy is full sending it through the gate, which is honestly very cool. I would like to do the same thing. So what I can see up here, like I said earlier, proximity is good, alignment is good, velocity isn't. So we're going to slow right down, meaning this thing should start powering up and I should be able to send it. There we go. And here we are in Edgeburgh. It's even got a sign, which is particularly fancy. Now, the thing I don't like about Edgeburgh is it's a little bit cramped, a little bit confined. It's the complete opposite of everywhere we have been to so far. But like I mentioned, I've played a bit of this game, so I know that going to the right is actually going to be for the best here, because it's going to give me the best opportunity to drop off this cargo where it needs to go. Now, I'm sure there is a correct side of the road to drive on here. I'm just sort of hugging the middle because my truck's not very good. That's kind of the thing. You can upgrade the truck. We can't do it yet. We're kind of broke, but yeah, we need to get a better truck, or rather we need to make the truck better. I don't think the game has systems for purchasing new trucks. That would be really cool. It's got a lot of similarities with various truck simulators, except for the fact that I don't think you can get a new truck, but we'll not worry too much about it. It also looks like that guy is on, okay, this might be a one-way road, but I'm going down here. It's fine. I don't see any signs that say I can't go down here, so I'm just going to. And there's my drop-off zone. Now, you would think if this were a regular truck simulator that I would have to back my trailer in there, but actually there's kind of a big brain thing you can do. And I'm going to demonstrate the absolute mass of my brain here by just driving the truck straight into the zone. And remember what I mentioned about the different dimensions and axis of movement? That's kind of where they come in. So if I stop things right here and I drop off the trailer, we did lose a little bit of money for careless driving. So we didn't get the full 2,200. We get nearly 1,900, which is fine. We did get 500 XP though, which means we've reached rank 2, which means I can spend a skill point. So this is another similarity between this game and regular truck simulators. You can specialize into certain things. So for example, just-in-time jobs, we will get jobs with tight deadlines. We get more XP for those. We get more cash for doing those. Same with fragile jobs, which honestly, given my driving style, seems like the last thing I should go for. But here's the thing with fragile loads. It leads straight into long distance jobs, and that's what I want. So I'm very tempted to go that way. We could go for perishables, and then that leads to hazardous. Honestly, I want all of them at some point, but I think for now, we're going to go for the fragile ones straight towards long distance, which eventually gives me the option for multiple trailers, eventually into oversized loads. So yes, we are going to go with fragile loads as my chosen skill, my first skill. And as the name implies, these loads are delicate and any damage to the cargo will result in substantial deductions upon job completion. However, fragile loads are a great moneymaker for careful drivers with a nice bonus for cargo delivered in pristine condition. Each level of certification will give you access to increasingly delicate cargo types. We are going to confirm that, which is fantastic news. We could continue into fragile loads and then into cargo clearance, which lets me have more cargo in the truck at way stations, which is a thing. It is absolutely a thing. I'm also just noticing that there's sort of like categories. So down here in the bottom, you've got like profitable. Over to the side, you've got safe and sound. Over there, you got fast and risky. I mean, really going towards valuable goods is probably not a bad idea either. But regardless, we're not doing any of that.
Jay, nice job getting your fragile loads permit. Now that you're cleared to haul breakables, I got a job I think you can handle. Swing by New Liberty Terminal over in Alice
Okay, so he wants me to go to Atlas Prime. I'm pretty sure that's the system we just came from. So what we'll do is head over to Silverwell Yard and pick up another contract, hopefully going to Atlas Prime. But I mentioned the whole, other dimension of movement thing and why being, against a wall isn't a bad thing. First off, I could just accelerate out of here. But what I can also do, because I'm in space, is I can kind of just rotate. So I can just swing the truck around like this to, not have to worry about the cargo, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to just kind of go up and over the cargo and absolutely not worry about it. In fact, I don't even have to go up and over it. I can just go up, which again, exactly what I'm going to do. And now that I am clear of everything, we'll bring the nose down. We'll swing it over to the right and we're going to gun it. Okay, we're all right. Straight for Silverwell Yard, which if I remember right, because like I said, I've been here, I think Silverwell Yard has a store and a docking bay, so I can do a little bit of shopping if I want to, and I can also, get myself a contract. And there it is. We've got a shop right there. We've got a job board down there, and I'm actually going to take this opportunity to take a look at one other thing that's important with the map in this game. I just want to make sure that we're, at a full stop right here, which we now are. So if we zoom in and have a look at Edgeburgh, we can bring up more information and we can see that the local prices right now are pretty rough for energy. So energy is 23% higher in Edgeburgh than the market value. That means that if I were to go and purchase some power supplies or batteries or whatever they're called somewhere else, say, for example, I go down to here, Medusa 6, and purchase some power units for less, 13% lower than market value, I could sell them for a profit in Edgeburgh. The downside is that if I'm in a situation where I desperately need some power supplies in Edgeburgh, well, suddenly they're very, very expensive, which isn't good. That's a thing. You don't just have to make money by hauling cargo in the traditional sense of getting a trailer. You can purchase things. That's what all the stuff in the back of the truck is. It's all stuff that I can go and sell to these shops. But I think what I'm going to do, because I'm pretty sure we're in a decent enough spot, is I'm going to focus on the job board. I might swap out the power cell for the gravity drive just because it is getting, a little bit low. But honestly, 27% in that thing with the slow consumption is not really the end of the world. I think we will manage. I also want to see if I can get lined up with this thing decently well, which I think we are. That should be good enough. We should be stopped. And then I should be able to just swing this around and I can find myself some kind of contract. So we have this one, which is an unfortunate delivery because it's going from from Atlas Prime to Edgeburgh. So we're already in Edgeburgh. That's not great. This one, however, is going from Edgeburgh, where we are, to Atlas Prime, where we want to be going. So we're going to be taking a tanker filled with neon for about $1,700, which I am completely fine with. We will be fined $3,400 if we screw it up, which I'm hoping not to do. But we'll go ahead and get disconnected from there. The cargo is on the other side of Edgeburgh. So I'm just going to go up and around because it's honestly the easiest way to avoid all the streets. And then the cargo is tucked really nicely into this little bay down here. So all I need to do is try and line up the front of my truck with the cargo as best I possibly can. And then we start to swing it around, and ever so gently we back it up and continue to back it up until we get to a point when I should be good any second now to grab the trailer. There we go. So we have a trailer full of neon. Let's switch over to the rear view camera, and we have to head out that way to Medusa 6. So we'll gun it just a little bit. I don't see any traffic, so I'm not too worried about any of that. And if I remember right, this is, well, I don't need to remember. This is very clearly the wrong way that I'm going down this road, but that's fine. We'll not worry about it. Oh, now hold on a second. We have a salvage beacon up there. Now that is something I want to check out. And I want to check that out because salvaging things is a thing in this game. I should probably turn the lights on. You know what? There's no time. The reason I want to come down here is because these boxes are a thing. I also don't need this right now, so it's going to go and live in that box because I want to take the box with me. I can go out into space and I can grab salvage and then I can put it in a box and bring it back in here and potentially trade it or put it to some good use. I've no idea what this is. I've never actually gone out and got salvage before, so this could be a bunch of garbage, to be completely honest with you. But by the looks of it, it's not. What is this? So this is a pack of beer. Okay. It's alcohol, which I'm pretty sure is a restricted thing somewhere, I'm sure. So I might want to be careful with that. But I think, yeah, I can totally put it in the container. This is a crate of wine. Oh boy. I really hope we're not going to a system that doesn't want alcohol. Because they're going to be very disappointed with me. This is also another container, and this has nothing in it. Oh, so there's also a box of explosives here, which I don't know about. I don't know about this one. Just so we're clear and on the same page about all of this, that whole process would not have been possible with just a single charge of the, I guess the suit, right? The better or the lower consumption of oxygen is pretty much the reason I was able to do all of that. I'm also going to put my explosives, I guess. You know what? Let me turn the lights on so I can see what's going on back here. I need to sit down to do it. I need to sort this place out. It is a complete mess. So there's nothing in here. I want to put some UCCs in here. These are essentially control units for different systems on the ship, and having them in a container actually protects them from damage because things actually get damaged as you collide with other things. So having my control units in here is good for the control units. Same with power cells. Putting those in a single container is only going to be a good thing. We also have an air filter that we could go and install, but I don't really think we need to right now. Things like this, a workwear carton and craft supplies and fuel and cables and grow packs, that's just cargo. Same with the cleaning supplies. It's all just considered cargo. It's all stuff that I can sell. It's all stuff that can potentially give me a profit. It's all stuff that I can trade. Now, before we set off, let me just double check. Narcotics are fine at Medusa 6. Explosives are not okay at Atlas Prime. So what that says to me is that I might want to try and sell some explosives at Medusa 6, or I might want to jettison my explosives before I go to Atlas Prime, which I'm pretty sure means I'm gonna have to disconnect from my trailer at some point to dock with a shop, which might be interesting. I'm hoping that's a thing that the game doesn't mind me doing, but we will absolutely find out if and when we get to Medusa 6, which we are, I believe, about to do. There we go. I love this. I really do. This is so good looking. And then it's quick too. Like, it's obviously a loading screen, but it's quick. And I like that. Now I need to go that way to get to Atlas Prime, but I think right off the rip, we're going to go to that business hub, and we're probably going to follow the road to do it so that I can maybe sell some explosives before, you know, we have a problem. And thankfully, it looks like I'm going to be able to. Now, unfortunately, the stuff that I'm wanting to sell, I mean, we're getting a little bit of a profit on the pack of beer, which is great. We're not getting much of a profit on the crate of wine, but it is also at half health, which I guess is fine. So $280 there. And then the explosives, we're getting $475, which is almost market value. So I'm kind of okay with that. $771 for pretty much nothing is not bad. We are also, if I wanted to, able to sell, what do we got here? So I don't know what a grow pack is considered, but that is above market value. We would get above market value for cleaning supplies as well. We would get below market value for the data cable, so I'm not too worried about that. Below market value for the craft supplies. So you know what? We're going to sell the grow pack. We're going to sell the cleaning supplies. And that gives me a profit of $1,500, which I'm absolutely okay with. Could get some more containers. Not too worried about it. The container itself, an empty container is $375. This one containing one item is worth $2,000. That's the one with the air filter, so we're not doing that. And then this one's actually worth less. So I'm honestly not really too worried about that. I can actually, I can open these. I didn't know I could actually do that. Yeah, the air filter is worth a lot. These guys are, they are worth a decent bit. I'm not too worried about them. Let's just confirm the trade. We'll get $1,500, which I'm completely fine with. We are going to unhitch, head back down here, grab my cargo, and now we can go to Atlas Prime without, hauling illegal goods like explosives. And here is exactly why I wanted to get rid of the explosives. Because there are security checkpoints. That is something to be mindful of, is that there are security checkpoints. And we should be okay. We absolutely are okay. I'm also pretty sure we don't actually need to stop for security checkpoints. I think I read somewhere that you don't need to do that. I like to do that anyway, just because I feel like it makes sense. But yes, that was, it was definitely a little bit sketchy there. But we made some money. An extra $1,500 is not something I'm going to complain about. We got 4 kilometers-ish to the drop zone, which is fantastic. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit that. We just about missed it. Okay. Hitting something at 130 miles per hour. I mean, relative speeds, I guess, wouldn't have been good. Definitely wouldn't have been good. That would have definitely tore a bit of a hole in the top of the ship. We are, oh, there it is. I don't know what we hit or what hit us, but that's going to be problematic. Let's air brake as quick as we can. We have got a hull breach. We have got a, oh boy. we knew that was going to happen. Let me just realign the ship a little bit. Let's just realign the ship. So we're ready to go. We're not in any major rush. Let's just check the damage and see how we're looking. Wait, was that my trailer? Oh, no way. The trailer's down to 69% condition. So it must have hit the trailer, which is not good. We are currently, interestingly, doing okay. The oxygen level is rising. We have a delta of +9 liters of oxygen per hour. So it's not the end of the world if we don't immediately go and deal with this, but I think it makes sense to go and inspect the damage, and things fell off shelves. Yeah, like I said, you don't want to crash. Now, fortunately, it looks like we just have the one hull breach down here, right next to one that I've already patched up. So it's not the end of the world. It's really, we could have probably just gone and dropped things off and been okay. But all that behind us, everything said and done, a hull breach or no hull breach, we got here, which is great. Let's stop the truck, detach the trailer. We did not make anywhere near as much as we realistically should have, but that's fine. We did damage the client property. It's not great, but you know what? I'll take it. We're nearly at rank 3, so that's fine. That's totally fine. We now need to go back the way we came and meet Mr. Red Eddie. At least that's what the game wants me to do. What I'm going to do is leave it there for today. Let me know in the comments if this is the type of thing you would like to see more of on the channel. I know it's not a management game per se. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more goofy than what we usually do, but it is a game I'm having a lot of fun with. I'll totally get if it's not the type of thing that fits with the channel or vibes with everybody, that's fine. I'll stream it on Twitch and it'll be like a little side thing we do from time to time. Even if we do it here on YouTube, it'll be like a every now and then kind of deal. Not every now and then in the way that City Skylines is every now and then, which by the way, I'm working on. I've got like a thing coming really soon for City. Anyway, the point being, if you want more of this, let me know in the comments below. I would appreciate it if you liked the video as well, if you enjoyed it. And if you're new around here, do feel free to hit that subscribe button. We post videos somewhat regularly, and it's going to be more regularly. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.